Hi, this is Togo. This lesson is for coming to standing and about how the ground reaction force goes up and through you. Sit on the chair, come to standing couple times. Where does your attention go first? How much effort do you use? Where do you feel excess tension in your body? Please sit down and come to standing. Stop and notice the bare beginning of the movement. What was the first movement you made? Can you sense what you did? What direction did your legs move? What direction did your knees move? How did your pelvis move on the chair? How did your weight shift into your feet? Repeat a few more times and observe at the beginning of coming to standing. What is your pattern? Do you use momentum? Does your weight shift more to one foot than the other? Which leg do you rely on to come to stand on? Did your weight shift toward the big toe, toward the fourth metatarsal, or the little toe? Did your heel move inwardly or outwardly? How does the movement go through you? Stop and rest for a moment. Take a moment to notice how you are sitting on the chair. How are your feet resting on the floor? Is there any difference? Which foot has more weight on the floor? Which heel has more weight to the inside of your heel? Which heel has more weight to the outside of your heel? Which foot has more weight inward toward the big toe? Which foot has more weight outward toward the little toe, over the fourth metatarsal? Is one foot rest more to the inside than the other? How does your knee rest over your foot? Inside, outside, over, front, or back of your foot? Which knee rests more inside over your foot? Can you sense where your femurs join your pelvis? Is there any difference in the way your femoral head spirals into your hip joint? Can you sense your sit bones? Which sit bones do you feel more? Which part of sit bone do you sit on? Front, back, or center? Rest for a moment. Roll your pelvis a little forward and backwards, just a little. Which way is easy to roll? Does your pelvis move more toward one leg or the other? As you move your pelvis forward, what is the earliest movement you can sense in your knees? In what direction is your knee moving? How early can you sense when the pressure on your feet moves? From heel toward your forefoot or from your forefoot back toward your heel? Can you sense how you shift your weight onto the floor? Do you have a same pattern of the pressure or slightly different pattern on each foot? Continue to make small movement. Roll your pelvis a little forward and a little backward. How early can you sense the movement of your head? As you roll your pelvis forward, does your chin lift? As you roll your pelvis back, does your chin down or more or less stay in the horizon? How does your pelvis support your head? How does your head rest on your spine? Stop. Now move your head a little forward and backward. Notice as your head moves forward, does your pelvis roll forward or backward? As your head goes backward, does your pelvis roll forward or backward? Leave it for a moment and rest. These breaks are to give yourself rest quietly, to have your nervous system notice any changes made in the session, and also to break the habit forming. Sit quietly. Imagine you lift one of your legs. Which leg do you choose to lift first? Which leg would be lighter, easier to lift? How do you unweight your leg? What is the first thing you do to unweight your leg? Are both legs immediately available for lifting? As you lift your leg, does your foot take off the floor? Now lift one leg several times. What is the first movement as you begin to lift your leg? Which part of your leg does your attention go? Foot, knee, thigh, or whole leg? When you lift your leg, is there a sense of availability, lightness, or heaviness? Lift only to the point without having the sense of effort. Notice the moment your effort coming in. Do you begin to hold your breath? Do you sense any other movement associated with the effort? Can you stop well shy of making effort? Stop and rest for a moment. The moment you make an unnecessary effort, you will initiate the pattern you already know. Unnecessary contraction muscle is to protect you from what you don't want to experience, what you don't want to feel. Your past memory is your way you know your life. When you stop shy of the effort, you have an infinite possibility, freedom within your system for exploration. Lift one leg and lean back a little bit to see if it is easier to lift your leg. Repeat a couple of times. Lift your leg just a little bit to the shy of the effort. Explore how you lean back a little bit to lift your leg really easier and lighter each time. Where do you lean back? Where do you lean from? Pelvis, lower back, chest, or head? Sense what's happening at your groin area, abdomen, chest, neck, or jaw. Do you breathe in or breathe out as you lift your foot? Allow every part of your body to participate in leaning back. Stop and rest for a moment. Lift the same leg a little bit again. What are you doing with your other leg? Lean back and see if you can use other leg to help. If you press down with your other foot and lean back ever so slightly, is it easier to lift your leg? Lift your leg by leaning back and pushing with the other foot a little bit to help raise your foot. Rest for a moment. Lift your leg. What direction does your head move? Away from the foot you're lifting or towards the foot you're lifting? Lift your leg by leaning back and pushing with the other foot a little bit and let your head bend a little bit forward. You notice letting your head drop down a little bit make lifting your foot easier. Explore the relationship of lifting foot, leaning back, and the head position. Every movement you make, you counterbalance the weight to make it lighter. Lift your leg, roll back a little bit, push a little bit with your other foot, drop your head a little bit, feel slight contraction at your lower abdomen, and you come forward and let your leg fall. By letting go your abdomen and letting your back lengthen a little bit and straighten and look beyond the horizon. Make each lift lighter, lighter than that, freer, freer than that, softer and softer than that. Rest for a moment. Lift one leg that you've been lifting and drop it, and lift the other leg. Are there any difference in lightness, weight, availability? Gradually make this leg more available for lifting. Shift the sense of learning from one leg to the other. Learning means you have to leave everything behind what you know and leap into a new way of acting. While listening to the quality of one leg and shifting your attention to the other and explore. How do you organize the legs, pelvis, lower back, abdomen, chest, and head to lift your leg lighter? Find the most lightest and available position. Let go of unnecessary contraction. Keep exploring until you have a sense of whole body is connected and light, weightless. Rest for a moment. Lift one leg as if you are going to stand on it and drop it. Lift it as you stand on it. That means you turn to your leg, your chest, head, and everything as if you are going to stand on it as you drop. Come to standing as if you are lifting yourself from the ground. Notice as you lift your leg, does your leg go away from you or come towards you? Lift your leg and drop it and come over your foot and come up. Lift, drop, and come over your foot. Just lift and drop and come over your foot. You don't have to stand all the way up. Just a little bit. Stand up a little bit. Make your leg completely weightless and lift it, drop it, and come over the foot. Which direction does your knee move on the one standing on? If your knee comes inward and the weight falls inwardly, then your leg goes down. Then the action and reaction point is not at the ground. How can you lift your weight away from the floor? Every movement has an equal and opposite direction of the movement. When the action-reaction point is at the ground is lifting you up through your skeleton as you come to standing. Every part of your body is lifted from the ground up. Then you feel lighter and effortless. How do you go upstairs? You lift yourself up from the stairs. How do you step on the curb? You lift yourself up from the curb. How does the ground reaction force goes up and through your skeleton? How can you experience your weight coming off the ground throughout the transition from sitting to standing? Stop. Come to standing on the other side. Lift your leg, drop it. The moment your foot hits the floor, come over your foot. Turn your chest bone, turn your head, come over your foot. Sense how your thigh moves into your pelvis. Sense how your pelvis lifts off the chair and lifts whole spine up. Your head is going to pass your knee and your foot. Dropping the leg and coming forward and up over your foot. Notice how your legs begin to unfold underneath you, as if your foot is lifting you up and you are coming away from the ground. Rest for a moment. Lift one leg and the other. Go to one and go to the other. Shift your weight to side. Make it lighter. Make it easier. Now lift both legs and drop them and stand. Connect your feet to the floor. The moment you drop your feet, the head coming forward as if to go past your knees. The head must counterbalance the pelvis. The pelvis coming off as if your head comes forward and up, diagonal towards ceiling. Notice how your knees move. Your knees go backwards. The ground reaction force is going up and through your skeleton as if your weight is lifting away from the ground. Now keep this going and hop. Drop your feet and hop forward as if you are lifting your leg. Now hop twice. How about 360? The other way. Just have fun with it. And just stand. What is it like to be fully supported by the ground and allowing the ground reaction force go up and through you? Sense how tall you stand with absence of unnecessary contraction. Left is a state of the only tone you need for standing. Sit down. How are you sitting now? When we have the absence of unnecessary contraction, really clear attention and awareness in the present. But there is our senses, our beingness, lightness, and brightness. Come to standing as the ground reaction force goes up and through you. Go for a little walk. What does your walking look like? How do you feel? Enjoy feeling of lightness. Thank you very much and have a day that is amazing.